What up guys, Lee from Team Purple Panda here, and today we are going on a little journey together, and we are going to take a brave step into the insanity that is the battle phase of Yu-Gi-Oh! That's right, the battle phase of Yu-Gi-Oh! is essentially the most complicated thing known to man at this point, but unfortunately, to get good in this game, you have to know what it is. So let's go right into it. So the battle phase, you can see it's actually pretty long, and it has been confusing both judges and players for years, and it will no doubt confuse judges and players in years to come. And I really hope that this video can help us shed some light. So the battle step breaks into multiple steps and multiple sub steps. So let's begin with us just going into battle. So let's say we have some face downs, and our opponent summons an alias, and here he declares an attack. So that begins our battle step. So basically go, okay, entering battle phase, entering battle step, the first thing, battle step. Okay, one, start/declare an attack. So the first thing he does, he being the turn player, is he declares an attack. That is the first thing he do, declaration of attack. In the declaration of attack, I can then respond with spell and trap cards that says something like this. Right here, activate only when your opponent declares an attack. And right here, mirror force, same thing. Activate only when your opponent declares an attack. So as soon as you declare an attack, that is when I have my opportunity to activate cards like Mirror Force and Deep Prison. Now know that if I were to say play Mirror Force, and if he were to flip Solemn Judgment and negate the Mirror Force, I cannot play Deep Prison, because when he declares an attack, he opens one chain of opportunity to use cards like these, and when that is negated, then I can no longer, quote unquote, start another chain within the same link, because again, it's negated already. And so as soon as the declaration of attack, this part is negated, it goes on to the next part. So part 2 of the battle step is before damage step. The cool thing people do a lot here in the before damage step is that you can still activate a spell and trap card that does not have the activate only when your opponent declares an attack line on it. So very popular would be something like Book of Moon or Enemy Controller, because it just says right here, flip one face up monster on the field to face down position. It does not require your opponent to declare an attack. So I can go, he attacks, I go Deep Prison, he goes Solemn. Okay, I can go, okay, cool. Before damage step, I can go Book of Moon, and it will still go through. So basically, I can do that, and again, I cannot go Deep Prison, Solemn, Mirror Force. So you can't do this, but yes, you can do this. So just be really clear about that. I guess ask so much questions as a judge about how this works. Can you do this? Can you do this? So I hope this really sheds some light on that. So after this is finished, let's go into damage step. And damage step is bold because damage step is just long and crazy. So let's go right into it. Damage step have 7. Count it, 7 sub steps. I'm not even kidding. Yeah. So let's go through each of these steps. Okay. So the first thing that happens in sub step 1 is apply all continuous effect. For example, if this is a Jane, so this is not an alias, this is actually a Jane, then the first thing that will happen is this will jump to 2100. Not to mention, if you have another card to say like the Topaz Tiger, that when it attacks, it doubles when it attacks against 400 attack or something like that, that kicks in. So whenever you have a card that says when this card attacks, gain blah 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 attack or lose blah 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 attack, that's the first thing to kick in. Second thing to kick in is applied all trigger effects. So stuff like Iro and a Mystic Swordsman level 2 and etc etc. That is when those kick in. The trigger effect to destroy face downs applies sub step 1. So if they attack into something, say a Raikou, it's a Raikou right here, the Raikou will be destroyed before it's flipped up, so it don't get to destroy anything with the Raikou's effect. So that's when it kicks in. So I'll put a row right there. And also, as soon as damage step is entered, neither player can use anything else other than counter traps like Solemn and whatnot, and also only can use effect of spell, trap, monster effect that modify damage. So here is what I mean. If you look at skill successor, it says right here, blah blah blah, it gains 400 attack. So you see that it simply just gains this much attack until the end phase. Cards like this are normally playable in a damage step, but cards like Book of Moon are no longer playable in damage step because you cannot play stuff like this during you cannot play stuff like this during the damage step because this does not change the attack or defense of the monster. Alright, moving on. Alright, substep 2. Monster flips up, effect not apply. So let's say he declares an attack. Substep 2, Raikou flips up, but the popping effect, the destroying effect in mill 3, that does not kick in until a little bit later. So let's see what does happen in this step. So in substep 2, monster flip up, effect now apply. However, you apply all continuous effect. So what that means is that, say if this is a dark monster and he attacks into this card right here, which is a Consecrated Light. Consecrated Light is a continuous effect. So if this were to attack into this, so again, say this is dark, right? Attack into this will flip up and the effect will immediately kick in so that this is not destroyed by the dark monster. So yeah, keep that in mind. That's very different from effect monster. Continuous effect kicks in immediately. No, so just again, know what is a continuous effect and what's not, and you'll be good to go. So that's that. So substep 3. Without applying damage calculation. There are a lot of cards out there that says without applying damage calculation, and that's when it kicks in. So, for example, if I have a mole and I attacked into a Consecrated Light, excuse me, camera. Okay, the first thing that will happen is this will flip open. And then before applying this effect, before applying the flip monster effect, this will kick in and bounce this to the hand and bounce this back to the hand. So even though this can run over this, if I trigger this effect, then before the damage calculation in substep 3, both will bounce to the hand. Same thing apply to Aaron, the Lightsworn Monk. So if Aaron wants to attack something, it'll flip up and then it'll bounce back into the deck. Alright, substep 4. This is where the coolest thing happens. Substep 4 is damage calculation. It's when the damage is actually calculated. So say if this was an attack mode and this attacking this, substep 4 is when I go to my calculator and calculate everything. Also, a interesting thing to know is that Honest can be activated anytime doing the damage step. So substep 1 to 4 can activate Honest. Now, good players will only activate Honest in substep 4, damage calculation. If you activate Honest in substep 3, I can choose to activate it in substep 4, and my Honest will beat your Honest. So this is, I'll break this down for you, okay? So let's say we have an alias attacking a Thunder King Ryo, right? And let's say both players have Honest. And let's say it's Thunder King Ryo's turn, and Thunder King Ryo declares an attack with priority to drop Honest in substep 1. Okay, so let's say he's not smart, so that 1. So immediately this will gain 19. However, if this guy waits to drop it at substep 4, okay, then this will gain the 38, that is the Thunder King Ryo with the Honest. So this will become 57, thus this will win. However, if he were to if he's smart and go, okay, attack, and I drop Honest at substep 4, damage calculation, and then this guy being not so smart, he goes, okay, well, I chain to your Honest. Alright, that's a stupid move, and here's the reason why. He activates first, he activates second. In reverse of a chain, chain link 2 resolve, this then will become 38, and then chain link 1 resolve, this then will become 57. So therefore, Ryo wins. So basically, the quick lesson here is that you never ever chain an honest to an honest. If you attack, you call priority, drop honest first, that's good. If your opponent attacks and he drops honest first, if you chain your honest to that, you will definitely lose. There's no way about it. So just never chain honest to an honest. That's like the golden rule here. Okay, if you chain honest, you will lose, and you'll lose your honest, and you'll cry a little bit inside. All right, so moving on. Substep 5. If this card inflicts battle damage, so that's when cards like these kicked in. It says right here, if this card inflicts battle damage, blah blah blah, and your opponents drop a card. So Arbellum and Spirit Reaper activates in substep 5. Substep 6 finally is when flip effect resolves. So say if this is flipped in substep substep 2, but it's not until substep 5, after all that's done, honest thing is everything's done, then this kicks in and destroys something. Also to note that in substep 6, anything that's like this is considered destroyed. So what that means is that, say if this is Penguin Soldier, if this is flip face up, I cannot target itself and a monster to bounce back to the hand, because the Penguin Soldier is considered dead at that point, because it is after damage calculation. Then finally, substep 7 is send cards to the grave, and that's when cards like Sangan have their effect kicked in. So that's those 7 substeps. It's long and confusing, but if you watch this video, just once or twice and just review this list I have written for you guys, it's really not that confusing. Again, the thing to remember is that this triggers in substep 5. This triggers in substep 6. However, it flips in substep 2, and honest should be dropped in substep 4 in damage calculation, and you never chain an honest to an honest. So that's that, and my table is super messy with cards everywhere now. So I'm gonna log off, and thank you guys for watching. Peace out.